Okay, so far I've got one slide in my presentation. It's the title slide. I want to do some electronic scrapbooking, so I'd like to insert some audio, video, and image files about me. First of all, I'm going to show you in this training video how you can insert audio files and then edit them. So to get started, to insert an audio file, come up here and click on the Insert tab, go to the Media group, and there you go. Click on the Insert Audio Speaker, you can click on that, opens up the Insert Audio window, where you can go ahead and browse through your computer, find your audio file, select it, and click on Insert, or, let me close out. You can also click on the corresponding drop-down arrow and choose Audio From File, brings up the same window so you can choose either or, close out, or if you don't have any audio files on your computer, you can check the clip art audio, click on that, and it will search office.com for audio files. Go ahead and type in a keyword of the type of audio that you would like to insert, like, I don't know, somebody cheering or cheers. I know I have one down below here, but let me see if there's any more cheers I can choose from. Go ahead and click go. Wait a couple of seconds while it searches the website. Ooh, I get horns and cheers. So to insert this into the presentation, you can just simply click on it or hover over it, and you see that little drop down arrow? Click on it and you get insert. Go ahead and click on that. Give it a second. And it inserts the speaker along with the play bar. So there's the audio with the play bar. Let me go ahead and close out of the clip art task pane, and let's play it. So you can play it, you can see it's moving along the timeline as it's being played. You also have to move back by a quarter of a second, and it can go back a quarter of a second, or you can go ahead and just click back and get back to the very beginning when you click on that little audio timeline. And you can also see that when it's moving along and you're playing it, how many seconds or what point you're at. You can also mute it by clicking on the speaker, or you can go ahead and click and drag and move the slider so it's not too loud, or you can move it all the way up to the top so it's the maximum volume that you can get from that audio clip. Let me go ahead and click off. When you click off of it, or in a blank area, you just get that little speaker icon to let you know that there's audio there. Then when you get close to it with your mouse, it'll pull up the play bar so you can go ahead and play with it here and listen to the audio, make sure it's what you want. And then when you hover back off of it, it disappears. Or if you want the play bar to be continuously displayed, then go ahead and select the speaker icon so when you move off it doesn't disappear. And then if you want to get rid of it, go ahead and select the speaker, hit the delete key on the keyboard, and it removes the audio, okay? The other option you get, let me click on Insert, go to the Media group, click on the audio drop-down arrow, is to record your own. So make sure that you have a mic hooked up to your computer, click on it, and then go ahead and give it a name. This could be my own applause, and I can go ahead and click record and then clap and go yay, yay. And then when I'm finished, click on stop, and it says it's about 4.6 seconds. If I want to continue, then just click on record, and it advances from that 4.6 to, well, continues to go yay. And then when I'm done, click stop. I can play it back, or just click OK, and it inserts what I just recorded into the presentation. You can go ahead and hover over the speaker, brings up the play bar, go ahead and click play, record, and then clap and go yay, yay. And then pause it. I know, it's not all that fancy when I'm doing it here, is it? So I'm going to go ahead and hit the delete key, because what I want to go ahead and do here is insert an audio file that I have on my computer. Come back up here, click on the speaker, and it takes me to my exercises folder, which is where I want to go to. And there's my audio file. Go ahead and select it, click on Insert, and let's go ahead and play it. Click pause. So it's got a bunch of people hooting and clapping, and that's just fancy, because when it comes to introducing my scrapbook, I would love an applause. I mean, who wouldn't? I just used to be in theater, and that's part of my electronic scrapbook, is the curtains, the applause, everything that reminds me of my good old acting days. Okay, you get more options than just playing it here. If you want to go ahead and move it back to the beginning, then hover over the timeline there, click on it, takes it right back to the beginning there, or you can click on the back button a couple of times to move it back 0.25 seconds. You also get the shortcut keys, Alt, Shift, Left, in any case. When you select the speaker here, your audio file, that's inserted into your presentation, you get the related contextual tab up at the top, the playback, click on it, and you get some options here. We'll go from left to right. First of all, you can play it again, which we can already do by coming down here on the play bar, clicking on the play button, so we won't do that. You can add bookmarks. What's a bookmark? Well, if there's a certain point in your audio when you're playing it, that when you're giving the presentation, you're like, you know what, I don't have time, or you want to go ahead and jump back to a point in the audio after you play it because you want to re-emphasize that portion of it, then go ahead and add a bookmark. How do you add it? Well, just go ahead and click play. When you get to the point right about there, click on Add Bookmark. It pauses it and adds a little yellow circle that when you hover over it, and it gives you some shortcut keys, Alt-Home and Alt-End. What that does is that when you're playing it, Alt-Home, if you're right here, takes you back to the beginning of the audio, or if there's another bookmark, because you can add more than one bookmark, let me do Alt-Home, takes me right back to the beginning, okay, and then click on Play, Add Bookmark. I wanted to do that fast, so we've got one right here and one right there, okay. Now the shortcut keys again, if I go Alt-End, takes me to the next bookmark, Alt-End, takes me to the end of the audio. So you got some great shortcut keys there when you want to jump around within your audio clip. So how does that work in the presentation? Well, let's go ahead and play it. Come down here and click on the slideshow button to begin it. And then when I come up here, you can see that when I hover over the speaker, it brings up the play bar. So if I want to go ahead and move my mouse around really quick, hover over it, click play, and go Alt-End, Alt-End, Alt-Home, Alt-Home. Well, you can't see it because it disappeared, but it keeps going back to that bookmark and replays it over and over again while it's playing. See, watch this. Alt-Home, Alt-Home, well, you get the idea, okay? And then when it's done playing, you can go ahead and advance to the next slide by clicking and, well, I only have one slide. Hit the escape key to end the show and we're back in the design view. Okay, next, if we want to go ahead and remove a bookmark, you have to click on it to select it so you can get the remove bookmark highlighted. Click on it, removes it. Next is the editing group where I can go ahead and trim the audio. Click on it. I mean, if I got too much applause here, which, come on, who can never have too much applause? You can go ahead and click on the green or the red sliders to drag it in to cut it at the end or to cut it from the beginning, okay? You can really cut that and hack that in. Or instead of clicking and dragging in, you can go ahead and type in the amount of time you'd like to cut off from the beginning or the end, okay? Whatever works best for you. And then you can play it from that point, and it goes to that point, and that's it. Click OK, test it. See, that's really short. And then when you want to go back to the way it was before you trimmed it, of course, just come up here and click and drag that back, and you're back to where you started, okay? Click OK. Next we have fade in and fade out. In other words, instead of starting the audio right off the bat at full volume, you can go ahead and gradually fade the volume in so it's subtle with your audience and not just blaring right off the bat. So we can go ahead and fade in to about 1 second so it starts off to 0 and after 1 second it gets to full volume, okay? And fade out, and let's do 2 seconds, okay? You want to go ahead and give it a try. Let's click on play. Kind of fades in there, and then at 2 seconds it starts to fade out. Well, you can go ahead and try that. It's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and put this back to 0, hit the tab key, hit enter, and let's go back to 0, hit enter, and good. You also have the volume control, which you have on the play bar. You know, you can click and drag that. What you do on one affects the other, so if I click on the drop down arrow and it says high and I go to low, then I come down here, you can see it's low. But when I click and drag that to high, let me make sure, there it is, okay. Click on the drop down arrow, it's at high, so you choose up here or down on the play bar. And then back up here, you can have the audio start on click. So during the presentation, you know, you just go ahead and click on it to play it, or you can change it to automatically play, in which case you don't have to click on the audio. Let's go ahead and start our presentation. It already starts, so I don't have to click on the audio. In which case, do you want people to see a speaker here if it's automatically playing? I don't, because the purpose of the speaker is that if I'm going to go ahead and click on it to play it, I want to be able to see where it's at. So I can go ahead and bring up the play bar and click on it and play it, okay? Let me hit the escape key to get back out. You can check the box to hide during the slideshow, and then let's click on it. So you just hear the audio, you don't see the audio file or the audio icon speaker there. Let me hit the escape key. And then of course you've got another option to play across slides, so you can advance from one slide to the next. I mean, if you've got 5 minutes of audio and you've got 20 slides and you want to go through the presentation in 5 minutes, just continuously playing it as you go through the slides. Let me click off. You can annoy them and loop it until it's stopped. So it just keeps playing, and when it's done it goes back and it plays again and again and again. The other option is to rewind it after it's done playing, so you can go ahead and click on it to play it again if you'd like.